gentlemen, as always, I'm your host, AirsoftAL, and before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and just take this moment to address the YouTube employee who's probably manually reviewing this video, and probably is going to just say this is demonetized. These pews that you're about to see are toys. They're airsoft pews, they're airsoft toys. They're not guns, they don't shoot real bullets, they shoot BBs. These things. They shoot these things. They projectile these things. These are not real bullets. They're BBs. But of course, knowing you, the YouTube employee who is probably being overworked, pushed, and probably stressed out of your mind, you just don't care, and you're going to demonetize the video anyway. However, if you're the decent sort who actually does care, you're going to monetize this video and allow it to actually make a little bit of ad revenue. That sweet, sweet ad revenue. But if not, then I fully understand. You're just overworked, stressed. You have no political leanings whatsoever. I, on the other hand, am a libertarian, and am probably going to push a few of those views. But, ladies and gentlemen, this video may seem weird and out of place because, well, depending on how things go, I may take a while for this video to get actually done because I'll be filming this at various times of the day. Also, I now have a watch, so keep an eye on that watch if you really want to see what times of days I actually do fucking film these videos at. But either way, though, ladies and gentlemen, today we are taking a look at my Armory of 2022. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Armory video, the staple of this channel and any airsoft channel, basically saying, hey, let's take a look at the cool shit I've accumulated over the years. Now, I've had a lot of guns over the years. I've had many of classics. I've had many more just come and go, and over time, ladies and gentlemen, I have created a massive collection. But, sadly, some guns have gone. Some have stayed. And some are currently with some friends right now at the current times of this video being filmed, being painted. And depending on when I'm able to get it back, they're probably still with said friends being painted. But, ladies and gentlemen, today we're taking a look at the state of my armory in 2022. So, let's start out with rifles, shotguns, and submachine guns first before we get to pistols, because I've accumulated a lot of rifles and shotguns over the years. Okay, so shotguns first, and the first one being, of course, the custom and modded Double Eagle Mossberg. Now, this little bad boy right here has actually been modded. This was given to me by Seth from the Tupelo Airsoft group. This was actually part of a trade deal I actually did. And this is sort of now set up as my sleeper sniper, which I have basically kept the hop up as is. I basically kept the hop up as is, put a better spring in this bad boy. I've basically done this up in this sort of cool, like, Mossberg, like, old school style. Got some chrome paint on the actual heat shield. Got the grips actually painted up nice and brown. I do have plans to actually talk with a friend of mine, and try and get some 3D printed sights set up for this bad boy, so that I can actually run an optic or run cam in the future on this. But again, it's set up as it is because it's really nice. Now, I did have, of course, I am going to get some tape in the future and actually tape up the grip here and actually tape up the stock here, kind of give it that nice, like, vintage war look. But again, as it is, it's a lovely little shotgun. It's a lovely little pump rifle. It really is. But that's one of a few shotguns in the collection. The next shotgun, sadly, is kind of in pieces. It's the Benelli M3 Double Eagle shotgun. This is kind of as it is right now because the buttstock broke on it and basically this top part came off. But it does act as a very lovely, like, little insight into what goes on inside of the tri-shot shotguns, because there are upgrade kits for tri-shot shotguns, so you could upgrade the springs, the piston heads, basically everything about the tri-shots. Whether or not I'm going to do that, I don't know. What I do know is that it's a very interesting, cool shotgun, and is actually based off of Tokyo Marui designs, which even one Tokyo Marui design even has a grenade launcher that actually, no joke, I'm probably going to do a video on in the future and kind of talk about more in depth. But again, this is one of the few shotguns I do have that's currently in pieces. The next tri-shot I have is, of course, the tri-shot grenade launcher, which actually is somewhat based off of the Tokyo Marui design tri-shot shotgun. This is, of course, attached to a Double Eagle 2-in-1 AEG, which basically the way this works is a shotgun shell basically goes in here. You pull that down, and I don't know if you can see that. You have tri-barrels on there. But I'm going to talk with a friend of mine, see if we can't 3D print like an end cap here to basically keep these two together. And again, it's actually a really cool little like AEG. It's a sleeper AEG, and I have it set up like a Desert Storm sort of thing right now. So you know, I have the ACOG really on there, which a video will come on the ACOG very soon. But like I said, it's actually a really cool little AEG. For $100, it's not that bad. You get a lot out of this actually, and it can be upgraded because it has a full-size version 2 gearbox in this bad boy. So, like all AEG parts, all V2 parts, all like I've done a video on it. Just yeah, we'll talk about in the future, probably more of. I will run this in a game again, hopefully in the future. But moving on, which gives us a beautiful segue into the rifles. This one being, of course, my custom Magpul Pts M4. The Magpul Pts M4 is literally Magpul Pts, Magpul, like one of the few unicorn like Magpul magazines still on the market. This was my originally the M16, but that got yeah, that kind of, the spirit was there, the body was not. Let's just go with that. But it paved way for this, which I do love, I do like, I'm very happy with. And now I have a SNT grenade launcher thanks to a buddy of mine in the Norwest Airsoft group, Discord group. It is actually really nice. It is a little wobbly because Mlock apparently does not agree with some of this, but again, that's how it is. I'm very happy with what it is right now, and again, it's just one of those things of I'm probably going to get longer M-Lock in the future just to have on there, but even without on there, I do love the way the MOE looks, because that just looks retro modern in my opinion. And of course I have Murica dust cover, and of course I have a Second Amendment charging handle. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of this in the future. I just haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it as of yet. Moving on up, we actually have this, my Militech, I wish I remember what I called this thing, but basically this is what happens when Cyberpunk decides to go retro. This was originally going to start out as a Magpul PTS, Colt Carbine, essentially, or Colt SMG. But then I started playing a lot of Cyberpunk and realized, you know, I could turn this into a Cyberpunk gun, and I did. I've got a PTS stock right here. I've got a Magpul SL handguard here. I've got a 10-inch barrel on there with a built-in, of course, gas block and iron sight. I have this awesome flash hider from a buddy of mine in the Tupelo Airsoft group. I have a Angels Customs mag adapter for MP5 magazines. So if I want to, I can use standard full-length AR mags. The Angel Customs magazines actually do work out very well. I'm very happy with how they are. This thing performed amazingly, and it's all built on a Lancer Tactical AEG body, essentially, like a little AEG. And again, this thing is just beautiful. It's really nice. It's really well done. I do love the compactness of it. It's a really fun little gun. And if I want to, I can basically take this mag adapter out, and I can put her inside of another, like, I can put it inside the M4, the Magpul Pts M4 if I really want to make a Magpul PTS SMG. I may in the future make another 10-inch barrel SBR style AEG. I don't know yet. I'm still undecided. Sticking with AR-15s, we have this thing, a Canadian M16. This was actually a spare parts build. This is a Colt licensed lower and upper from a Mark 18 build. And again, it's got a micro switch in there. It's going to basically be, this is going to be the base gun for a service rifle mod kit that me and a buddy of mine are doing. And again, it's just an M16 with a collapsible stock. I've got nothing for you guys. I really have nothing for you. Sticking, of course, with the Armalite theme, we have the JG Star Dragon. This is basically, this is based off of a cut concept art for Ghost in the Shell. It's a honest-to-God, comfortable little AEG. It's very nice, very good. I have yet to run it in a game yet, because I haven't really found an excuse to. I haven't really found an opportunity to. It is small, it is compact, it is well below the 10-inch barrel mark, and it has this adapter here so I can run any sort of like suppressor, flash hider, what have you. And it does have the hole here for a carry handle rail system, so if I really want to, I can put a rail system on here so I can run like optics or cameras. I am tempted to, I am probably going to, I do want to, and I have the battery to fit in here to basically make it. Have me the ability to, so I might do just that. Again, it's one of those things of I really need to find time of day. Yeah, one of those things. Moving on, though. Once again, still sticking with the AR theme, I have, of course, the Tactical Tuna, the FN2000. This thing, honest to God, did really well. I am very happy with the performance of it. I did take this into a sandy environment, so I've got to still clean this thing. So yeah, the cleaning on this is going to be really, really interesting, to say the least. It did get a lot of dirt on there. If you haven't seen the gameplay from that absolute clusterfuck. So yeah, that's that. That's all the AR stuff. Then, of course, we go to the... Before we even go to the other stuff, I do want to kind of talk about the Springers I have in my collection, because there are actually some pretty interesting Springers I do have in my collection that I've upgraded, I've modded, and I've done a lot for. And, of course, after that, we'll talk about the SMGs, and then finally, the non-ARs in the collection. Alright, so starting off the non-AEG stuff, we have, of course, the TAC 6. The TAC 6 is... honest to God, one of those gas carbines that I'm really happy I kind of did a lot of work with. I did have plans to work with people to do a lot of cool, interesting plans with. I do need to contact them again, see how they're doing, how life's treating them. Because we did have a plan to actually cut this down, make this into a sort of SBR type build. Basically because these things are modular and you can actually take the upper off with the lower. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it. It is an honest-to-God modular system that I'm very surprised there isn't a lot of aftermarket parts for. One of the things I'm really happy for is, or one of the things I'm actually kind of about is the fact that it uses the same kind, almost the same kind of magazines as the non-blowback Glocks that Umarex is selling, which is basically just wind gun Glocks. But again, it's one of those things. It has a very intuitive system. It's just nice. The trigger pull is not that bad on it. It legitimately has a very nice trigger pull. The sights are Scorpion Evo sights, so you can get used to those. You can get used to that sight picture if you want. It has a fucking laser on it. If you you really want that laser type thing. It even has a suppressor that actually does work. Yes, I mean, this thing can actually be suppressed. It actually has a suppressor that does legitimately work. But I'm going to take this out one day, but I only have like 2 magazines for this thing, so... yeah, that's going to be one of those. I need more magazines before I can even consider taking this thing out, because much as I want to say I'm decent of a shot, I'm not that decent of a shot. I'm really not, so it's going to be one of those things. Alright, so the first of many Springers, we have, of course, my custom Springer M14. I have 3 magazines for this bad boy, as well as 3 magazines for another M14. But I've basically made this to where the prime is not as god-awful on this thing. This is an Agm M14. If you see my reviews on this, and of the shorty version of it, you know, the problems with them is more or less in the prime. The priming bar is just god-awful. It would make, if it was more or less based on the Double Eagle design or the Tokyo Marui design of M14s, they would have a very nice straight-pull bolt-action rifle on this thing. You know, just keep the magazine, keep the hop-up, you'd have something there. But instead, they just basically made this god-awful, uncomfortable when it shouldn't be. But overall, it does have the same aspects of the full-length M14 AEGs. It is more or less full length. It's very nice. I mean, just look at this thing. I mean, even with the basic brown paint job I did on it, it looks very nice. I am planning to add some tape to the grip here, tape to the buttstock, and just make this look battlefield worn, essentially. Like I said, it's not as bad as before, but it is still pretty bad. It still has it, but it is reaching out there now, thanks, of course, to the redneck flat top I put on this bad boy. Moving now to the shortened and more tactical and overcomplicated cousin, we have, of course, the Agm Socom the M1a. This thing is just god-awful heavy. It's very heavy in the back because I haven't removed the weights yet. The prime on it is just god-awful. The magazine, at least, is decent, to say the least. I haven't done the redneck flat hop on this bad boy yet, and the rail system on here is held together by one single solitary screw. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not how you do things, but it's just how it is. It's legitimately how it is and how things go. From the land of Korea, yes, that Korea, South Korea technically, we have, of course, the fully licensed Kalashnikov. This thing is a Springer. Don't let this fool you. It is a full Springer AK, and it is AEG magazine accepting. This thing does work on AEG magazine. You can actually open her up and swap out because the spring gearbox, as I like to call it, is a gearbox. I've done a video on it. I just got to get an AK-74 style gearbox to throw in here, and I can literally rock this as an AEG. Again, it's just... even though it doesn't have the things needed for it in there, I can literally... Yeah, it can be rocked as a AEG. I just need a Korea... Apparently, I need a Korea compliant gearbox or something like that, because I've tried using Chinese gearboxes. The Chinese gearboxes do not agree with this thing. I need apparently something else. But again, it's one of those things. But this does actually work with actual, like, again, AEG magazines. They do feed, they do fire well. This thing actually does, like, legit hit the mark. And the faux wood on here is actually really nice faux wood. It has threading to accept a regular 14mm negative flash hider. It is, again, very nice. Moving on to the next Springer. From the good and golden days of Airsoft's early history, we have, of course, the first Springer Ska, which accepts double eagle style magazines, which, for those of you who have messed with double eagle before, you know exactly how it is. This is the early Scar L. Things have changed nowadays. Instead of it having this big, bulky charging handle, it has like a comfortable charging handle, apparently. It's one of those things. But, yeah, no, this is basically the Scarl. And this is, yeah. Moving on to the last Springer. The last Springer is a Sig, and that is, of course, the Sig Mpx. The Sig Mpx Springer is one I got from, of course, Jack's Dollar Deals over at the Tupelo Flea Market. It is a Springer, and this actually came out back when they were testing the waters for if people wanted a Sig Mpx in Airsoft. And because of how many of these things actually did sell, and the fact that people actually wanted a Sig Mpx, and this is the closest thing they could get to them to kind of, you know, speculate and understand exactly what a Sig Mpx in Airsoft was going to be like, this was exactly what they wanted and what they needed. And, of course, it doesn't hurt, but this is actually a pretty fun little, like, pistol, especially if you wanted to swap out the polymer constructed buttstock for a proper metal buttstock, a proper Sig buttstock, because the Picatinny rail on there is essentially one-to-one with actual Picatinny. And again, it's not that bad. I've done a mod guide video on it. I just need to finish that mod guide video, and we can basically see how this thing works out in general. But this does offer a great segue to the SMGs of the collection. Breaking out a goldie oldie from when my channel started, we have, of course, the first of many donated guns from back in the day, from when I first started playing Airsoft. It is, of course, the King Arms Thompson submachine gun with the drum, the 450 drum. Fully licensed drum, of course. This is a fully licensed King Arms Thompson from Cybergun. And again, it is... Oh, it's a heavy son of a bitch. It really is. And I need to break this out more often, because I've got a ton of Thompson magazines for this. And obviously, the Agm. But again, it's a Thompson M1a. It is one of those guns, and I do need to rock this out more often. I need to give this some more love than I haven't been giving it. And that's criminal, in my opinion, that I've not been giving this the love it deserves. But I will say, I have fun with this. I really do have fun with this. And trying to get a zoom cam mounted on this is going to be a pain and a half, but I don't care, honestly. I'd probably just run it as is. I'm not going to try and get a run cam on this bad boy. I do need to tighten up the front end barrel here just to make sure the thing doesn't go flying off, but I probably won't have to worry about that. But again, I've had fun with this, and I'm still going to continue having fun with this thing. Now, this one is the newest addition into my collection, and it is once again a submachine gun. It is, of course, the MP5SD. Now, this one is not the classic MP5SD that you may know it as. This is the more, like, modern update version from Elite Force, which it is the SEMA version. And again, this one was brought in, of course, by John Henry. This was kindly given to the channel after a nice deal we actually came to an understanding on through Seth. And again, it's a wonderful, just... I mean, the only thing that's keeping me from doing a full review on it doesn't have the charging handle, and I've had to completely remove it, so I have to literally just... Yeah, and it's also missing a piece here that you would find over here on this side, so yeah, it's one of those pre-owned guns, so I have to wait until I can get this thing fully fixed before I can even consider doing a review on it. But it still works, still able to feed, it still does everything I need to do, but I don't know, it's just not being able to do the HK slap is kind of like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. That and the buttstock it has on here I'm okay with, but it's not the classic HK stock, so it's not the full-length stock, I don't know, guys, I don't know. Just don't know. Speaking of the HK slap, a gun from the Wasteland, one that you guys know, you love, I need more magazines for so I can do proper gameplay for, and of course get the claw mount for so I can mount my cameras on this son of a bitch, is of course the JG Hkg A3, the classic Wasteland assault rifle, the thing you know and love from, of course, Fallout 3. Or as it's known there as the R91, even though it uses AR-style magazines and really the HK. Yeah, moving on. But you know, it's still a fun little rifle. I just need to get more magazines for it, so that way I can actually use it. It's a lovely rifle. It's definitely up my speed, up my alley. I've put a redneck flat hop in this bad boy because the stock hop up wasn't doing it right. And again, I'm able to actually do the classic, the granddaddy of it all, the HK slap. Even if you're left-handed, it's still, like... Still nice, still good. And I do love this rifle. I always loved Cold War rifles. But speaking of H&K, the next H&K rifle is one you probably never expected, much like the Inquisition. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the Double Eagle H&K G36. Now, this is the more economy-friendly version, but again, it still has an AEG gearbox. It still has like a V2 style hop up. It still has a V2-ish style, V2 V3 style-ish gearbox inside of it, and it accepts standard H&K G36 magazines. This thing is about $100. It is the M809, and again, it is still a G36, just at a cheaper level. I can fit lipos in this bad boy, so until I can burn out the gearbox in the son of a bitch, it's still going to basically be just what it is. And again, even though it doesn't have the fully ambidextrous fire selector, it's still what it is. It's still good in a sense. It's one of those things. But until then, it's still going to be what it is. I might put a, I don't know what I'm going to do with this up here, because as much as I want to put a angle foregrip up here, I might do something else with it. I don't know yet. But until I get more G36 style magazines, this thing is going to be on the permanent, not going to take out in the field waiting list, much like the TAC 6 or the G36. Okay, before we get to, of course, what's behind me, I kind of gotta talk about the little funnies, because I have two of these weird additions into my collection that I got that I'm probably going to review one day. I don't know. Do you guys want me to review these? Because there's two of them. I've got this. It's a Water Combat M4. This is based off of a Car 15, apparently, or at least one that has this weird fucking handguard here that's like the stand. It's weird. Weird. I got that. And then, of course, I got a Water Combat AK, both from Double Eagle, by the way. And I wish that was the only weird thing about it, but nope. So, moving on, of course, we then have my three AKs. First AK, we have my custom sleeper AK. This, of course, is a double. This is JJ folding stock AK-74 or AKM. I have because the way this is set up, I've basically decided to extend the wire a bit with like one attaching in here and having a pec box out here, so this is attached to it. This is a sleeper AK because it's a full size V3 gearbox. I have basically redneck flat hopped it. I've got a longer inner barrel in there, if you can see it through the muzzle device. It does accept AK, like full-on AK magazines, so that is how it is. It is a full-length AK. I've customized it as best as I possibly could. This thing is not a bad, like, little AEG for the price tag it's asking for. It can be upgraded. I've done videos on this. I've done videos on the AK-12. That's about the same price tag from, of course, JG. It's a fun little AK. It really is. If you're asking for a length, you're not going to get a link because YouTube nukes those links. So, sorry about that. The other AK I have, which is another trade-in, is of course the Contractor AK with a compliant 20-round magazine. This has another folding stock, which I'm going to talk to a friend of mine, see if we can't 3D print out some panels to put on here, so I can have like some panels on there, make it a little bit easier to grab onto, make it like a Type 91, I think is what it is, a Type 91, like folding stock. Outside of that, though, it's basically just a SEMA AK, but it's what it is. It's a Contractor AK. It's got a Type 1 style gas block tube on there. It's, yeah, I got this from a trade-in, from a deal and a trade from a buddy of mine, Austin. This was his AK. He was looking to upgrade to an M4. I said, hey, I'll happily take it. I got it, so this is one of the ones I'm working on for review. I need to review it soon enough, but, and give me time, guys, okay? I've got a lot of other projects I'm currently working on, but, yeah, no, this is one of the AKs. Another AK I have that I really need to get to work on actually fixing up is, of course, the Classic Army AK. This is the Classic Army, Pmc AK. This is, yeah, it's the way it looks. It's rear wired, has a full metal body here. It's, like I said, it's something I've got to work on, and it is kind of nice. It is a little bit light at the moment, but yeah, it's just one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things. Either way, though. Okay, so we've gotten through all the guns. Before we get to the pistols, I want to talk about the Land of Broken Dreams. Now, I hear you saying, what is the Land of Broken Dreams? The Land of Broken Dreams are guns that are broken because, well, that's how they are, that's how I got them in, and things I have to do to them to make them work again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Land of Broken Dreams is exactly what it is. The first one I want to talk about is, of course, from Elite Force. This one was actually something I got alongside payment for helping out a flea market. You know, as a nice gift. It is, of course, the the Elite Force Tac 1911. Now, I've heard talk about the Elite Force Tac 1911s. I've heard how great they are. I've heard how wonderful they are. I've heard of how amazing they are. And only to realize they're overhyping bullshit. Because you want to know what's the current iteration of the Tac 1911 I have from Elite Force? Here it is. This is all that's left of it, ladies and gentlemen. And you want to know why? You want to know why I only have this left? It's because the internal hammer that goes in here, that goes right up in there, where it shoots out to hit the magazine, that basically, releases that CO2 spurt to cycle the slide and shoot the BB out the barrel. It's KWC. KWC ain't exactly known for the best of things, outside of course their Lugers, their Mausers, their Uzis. But when it comes to their 1911s, it's hit and miss, because apparently they designed their internal hammers not on the KJW design. No. They decided to basically make it so that when the slide is dropped and the internal hammer is pushed forward, as soon as you slide the magazine into the goddamn gun, the valve, the hammer does not immediately try to adapt to it. The hammer is not exactly, doing anything like that. No, the hammer fucking breaks. Or correction, the hammer spring for which the internal hammer is attached to fucking breaks. And every time I have replaced the goddamn spring, I have to make sure that the hammer is actually back. I have to make sure that the thing is basically engaged, ready for the internal hammer to drop. Because I can never, ever load a magazine into it, not even roughly, mind you. I've never loaded a magazine roughly into a 1911, KWC, mind you, 1911s, and the internal hammer's not fucking break! This is the goddamn thing that you people have hyped for over years? Don't get me wrong, the body is cool. That's about it! Moving on to Broken Dreams number 2. Broken Dream number 2 is an Elite Force 45. Now, this is the way it is because, well, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I have tried my damnedest to try and get this thing to go in, but guess what? Every time I've gotten this thing to go in, and the fire selector actually does work the way it's supposed to, and I'm able to get the thing all closed up, the fire selector locks up! Every fucking time the fire selector locks up. I've been trying to get this thing to work for my brother, who's a Navy veteran, mind you. I'm trying to get this thing to work for him. I'm trying to get this thing to basically be where it is, so that way, it actually does work. But look. I'm not, even the way it is right now, it will not. I cannot even begin to describe how pissed off this makes me. I might take this to a guy who can actually work on these things one day, but Jesus Christ, I'm going to try and figure out exactly what the fuck is going on with this goddamn thing, because it's pissing me the fuck off! Moving on to Broken Dreams number 3. Broken Dreams number 3 is an L96 body with all the parts and stuff completely taken out of it. This was a pre-owned. It's I've got nothing. I legitimately have nothing, ladies and gentlemen. I've got nothing for you. It's just, this says it all. That's it. Just this alone says it all. Let's move on to pistols, shall we? The first of many pistols is, of course, my Herdwolf revolver pistol carbine, and, of course, its long barrel counterpart. Now, this can accept the ASG suppressor on there, just like the TAC 6, so I can actually have a suppressed revolver. Now, I have done a little work with this revolver here. Instead of it being a 6-shot, it's actually a 8-shot revolver. So I actually have these lovely little moon clip style things like you would see on the Hater revolver, where it's also 8 shots. It actually isn't that bad. It's about the 400 FPS mark. So if I really wanted to, I could have this on the field. I've got about 3 of these little moon clips here. I might need to get more in the future, but as it stands, this is actually not that bad. I may try and get longer barrels in the future. maybe get some longer barrels with some Picatinny rail on there, so I can actually have maybe like a little funny, little like tactical attachment here, maybe like a little foregrip on there. I don't know. I'm still like bang the waters as is, but the way it is right now, it is fun, and I do kind of like it the way it is. It legitimately is a fun little like shoulder little pistol carbine, and the way I have it set up like a like almost like an old West gun that you would see in Fallout almost. I'm happy with the way it is, and I just love it the way I have it set up as is. So yeah, I can also replace this pistol grip here with an actual pistol grip, which is wood, faux wood, with the wind gun style emblem on it, so I can actually have like a pistol, like a 8-shot pistol. Again, I don't know yet. It's one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of those things. As for pistols, I have a lot. I have like 2 boxes. I've got some UK arms in here. I've got a Spring 1911. I've got a Spring Deagle in here. Spring High Cap. I've got a, oh Lord, I've got a Luger in here. I've got an air gun here. I've got a Walther PPK with the threading for a suppressor, which I need to take this out in the field more often. I really do actually enjoy playing with this handgun. I might paint the grips here wood one day. I don't know yet. And I have this weird pirate gun. It's really weird. I've got these little, like, these things up in here. Oh yeah, I've got this, which is really weird. It's a Archer M87. It's based on the Beretta M87 Cheetah, which is the 22 target pistol. In one game, it's called a 50 cal pistol, even though it's not. Although this is pretty cyberpunk in its own right. Whenever I do get more magazines for it, I might run it in a game one day. Now here are my other pistols. Here's that suppressor I was telling you about. We have this, which is a BB gun. That's that. Now this one right here is my brother's gun. I'm doing a lot of work with this. I'm actually getting some new panels for him, so I can, it's actually got the nice emblems, real wood on it. I've got a thread for him on there for suppressors. This is the Samurai Edge. It is the Select Fire version, so it is full and semi. I've just got to get some green gas for it one day to actually test it out and do a review on it. Last but not least, we have my ASG KJW 1911. It's both green gas and CO2. I've painted up the slide a little bit to kind of give it like that shiny gunmetal gray almost. It actually does look really nice in the light. But I've got a compensator on there. It's a Magpul compensator, Punisher compensator. I do like that. I've got a double spring in there, so it's a spring inside the on the outer barrel itself and the recoil chamber here, so it's got a little more oomph. This can be ran on a Black Ops or a 2011 lower. The slide can be, the KJW slide, so that's kind of a big plus for me, and I do like that. Now we have more of these guns over here in this bin. We have, of course, the HK45, which is just a USP, basically. The CO2 non-blowback. KWC Springer 1911. We have a Steyr non-blowback from when those came out. Umarex Defender, I want to say. This has been painted up. I've got the tac kit that this goes in. The Ruger P345, P345 non-blowback. Let's see here. We have, of course, the Double Eagle 1911 Springer. We have a we got a pink 1911 here. And then finally we have another one. This is the Enforcer Responder 911. This one I got from Dollar General way back in the day. I did a double spring mod. It's hitting pretty hard, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, for the final pistols, we have the BR45, which is legitimately actually a really nice pistol, very well handy pistol. It's based off of an Italian pistol. I'm going to let you do that research, because I did that research and it was very, very hard for me to do. But yeah, no, this is the BR45. It's honestly a really nice pistol. It really is. I kind of do like that, really do. The other one I have is a Smith & Wesson. It is a Smith & Wesson 40. It is the non-blowback version. I actually do like this pistol. This actually, I didn't get to use this a lot, but when I do use it, it actually is really nice. The trigger pull on it is not that bad. It actually is really good. I love the feel of it in my hand. It's not a Glock, thank God, but it is a striker fire style handgun. And again, I do like the way it feels in my hand. It's just very comfortable in my hand. I don't know why, but it, like I said, it actually is really nice. I love the design of it, and the cool part is this can be used in the Umarex Tac Pistol Kit, meaning that if I want to, I could turn this into a pistol caliber carbine. It is a polymer lower, metal upper. It's very intuitive, very nice. I need to clean this up, honestly. Again, I just really do like it. It is very nice and fully licensed too. It doesn't have the white trades. It has like the laser engraved, but I really would like to have the white trades on it. Just just to have that just for the look of it. But it's how it is. I know how it is. But again, I do like this. I do love it. It's very nice, very intuitive. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the entirety of my collection. Now, I do have one. It's a Sru M4 Bullpup Kit, but that's with my buddy Pat, who is painting it up to actually look very nice, very cyberpunkish. I'm really looking forward to what he does with it. I'm really looking forward to how that turns out. The other stuff I actually do have, which of course is two SIGs. One's an economy 553 Commando, I think, or 552 Commando. Basically the gun from Counter-Strike. And another one's a Sig 556, which is in pieces, but is getting put back together. It's the tan model. The other one is, of course, the AK-12 and a few other submachine guns and stuff like that. It's being put together by my buddy. It's being modded and being put together by my buddy. Another Patrick, ironically enough, or I know too many Patrick. I know too many people. But anyway, it's being put together. It's being handled by a buddy of mine in New York. He does a lot of cool stuff, a lot of great paint jobs. Even does a lot of cool custom guns, and he's even doing a service rifle kit that me and him are working together on. That we're wanting to set up and do. That he is, of course, sending my way. That's hopefully going to get done. That's hopefully going to look out really well. And like I said, the M16 that you saw earlier in this video, that's going to be turned into a service rifle straight from the Mojave. When that comes down, I don't know. He's swamped right now with a lot of stuff, personal life-wise, so that's going to take a while for it to come down. But basically, when that does happen, I will be doing, obviously, videos on it. But, till then, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been your host, AirsoftAL. And if you want to help out with future stuff, like maybe helping get grenades for the grenade launcher, or maybe helping get more magazines, BBs even, then consider donating to the PayPal down below. Or if you want to help out me directly, I have an Amazon account. Contact me via the Discord down below to figure out how to help support via Amazon. And yeah, if you want to come join the Discord, I'm down in there. And if there are some of my guns that you actually do like, you found intuitive, you found enjoyable, sound off in the comments section. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and I will show you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time, later.
Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.